Does Caesar's Palace lead the way for a housing boom? Today, we're going to talk about a deal Brody has under contract. So be sure to tune in later this season to find out what actually happens with this deal. But we give Jeff a hard time just because we can, right? We talk about blunders, the times we failed, and guys, it happens. Most podcasts out there are going to tell you all the sunshine and rainbows of what happens when investing, but not here, right? This episode, we're going to talk about a few times we've learned, right? And I'm using learn as air quotes. And then we wrap it up by comparing how much time we spent single parenting. And if you want to chat about anything we discussed here today or in the previous episodes, at the end of this episode, I'm going to give you my cell phone. And so be sure to stick around for that. Okay. This is episode number 168 of the W2 Capitalist podcast. It has weighed on me heavily for at least a year, a little over a year and a half, where members would come in, to our boring calls, as Jeff puts it sometimes, and they couldn't.
No. All right. Whoa. There are a lot of good calls, and I do kind of give you crap sometimes.
I like it though. It motivates me.
But there's a lot of smart people in a lot of these groups that I just it may be that your group is over my head, which is totally possible. Totally possible.
Well, you've said it multiple times. You're not the brains of the operation, so
exactly. I'm not. I'm just filler.
There you go.
But and I think I like Adam's group. I always forget about his group. But I think Adam's a very smart dude.
He is. And, he's very.
Victor, Adam, if you're listening to this, we love you.
Yeah.
I think Victor's a very smart guy, but I don't get around as much. If you put this on the podcast, I'm gonna get
why are you turning red? Why are you turning red?
Well, I don't know. Like
Jamie's a smart dude. Jamie,
our group is smart too. Like we have a smart group too. Sorry, Jamie, I didn't mean to leave you.
No. Hey. I've always said I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I know how to figure out.
You don't have
to my questions. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's like what the Rich Dad Poor Dad says all the time. It's like it's A students work for C students.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of truth to that.
There's a lot of truth to that. But no, the Capital Group, it just weighed on me that we've got this mastermind. We've got these, 50 or 60 folks now. It's over 60 now. But for the last year, folks would come in to different calls and they'd be talking about a deal, but they just couldn't get funding for it. And some deals don't deserve funding. I mean, I had a conversation with a member the other day and he was upset he wasn't able to get funding. I was like, well, let's take a look at it. And he and I walked through it and I was like, all right, are you upset that you can't get funding, or are you upset because you realize that you really don't have a deal here?
Right.
And he was like, you're right. I don't really have a deal here. And I was like, how much money are you going to lose? And he didn't. I mean, they did a inspection, and I think that was it. They had the contract written to where they could get their money back. But yeah, kind of year in the making, man. We did our soft launch. We actually have 3 loans in progress to close by the end of the month, actually. And we have a deal flow problem right now. So you guys are getting ready to close on a deal. We've got about $1 million that is sitting that needs to be put to work. So Brody, get busy flipping. Whatever you got to do.
I've got a deal under contract right now.
Hey, okay. Let's talk about it, man. Let's hear it, man. You got a deal under contract. What is it?
Yeah, so it's a really crappy little 2-1. It's $15,000 and it's in Danville, Virginia. So what the hell's in Danville?
Dan used to be a pretty big, being that I used to live in Virginia, it used to be a pretty big, like
huge
hub for
tobacco and textile.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it kind of went to shit after a while, but I feel it's on the uptick.
So it was like the St. Louis, well, it is still kind of the St. Louis of Virginia. It's like the murder capital of the world, baby. But not really. I mean, it's got really hyper localized crime spots, and so it fell back. But the the footprint that the huge textile and tobacco industry left there was noticed by none other than Caesar's Palace. So when Virginia said, we're allowing casinos to be built, Caesar's Palace said, oh, hey, look, there is a prime location where a textile factory used to be, to build a casino, 500 hotel rooms, and a bunch of other things all throughout the area, like a Holiday Inn already popped up like across the street from this site development. They're building a $500 million casino in the hood.
Are you serious?
And I have a property. The property I have under contract is 7 minutes away.
Oh my God.
2.5 miles. And I'm sitting here.
I knew they were kind of getting a little more lighter with the gambling stuff in Virginia, but I didn't know that. That's good stuff to know.
It's literally 10 miles away from the North Carolina border, and it's an hour away from like the Raleigh, Durham, Greenville
it's in a great
triangle.
Spot. It's in a great
so
spot.
It's like they jumped on it and they're starting to develop, and there's a bunch of stuff going on, and I'm thinking like,
dude, buy that.
So I want to buy it or wholesale it. And I've already talked to a few folks and they're like, it's in the hood, I don't want it. And I'm like, I might have to close on this one. Like, cause it's just right there. Like, there's no way, like, and there's like nothing can go wrong. It's probably a terrible property.
No, it's wrong.
Oh no. So I'm getting a termite and moisture on it tomorrow, because like it's in rough shape. Like it's almost like the back half of it's falling off. It's like a really crappy Birmingham, right? Birmingham's like kind of a similar market where it's like you can buy a $5,000 house and you still lose money.
It's getting much different. When I first moved here, I mean, we still have hyper localized like crime spots, but my short-term rental that I'm working on is in an area that literally 4 years ago, I turned down a house for 15 grand. That was a 3-2 because I didn't want to be in the neighborhood.
Did you go back and look at what it's worth now?
No, I don't want to look at it.
I don't want to.
Jeff
do
likes that.
What's the address, Jamie? We're gonna do this.
I don't even, dude. I don't think I could even find it, the address anymore. But
good.
I remember talking to the guru in the area, and was like, you need to be all in if you're gonna buy an East Lake at 35 grand, like all in repairs and purchase, like livable house at 35. And I was like, I don't know how you do that. And
so Brody, that's a done deal. Like the Caesars thing is a done deal.
They've already broken ground and they're developing. They're gonna be done at the end of 24.
You need to buy that house and make it
I'm texting Trina right now.
Seriously, if you can just pay for that
house. So
hey,
what's going on? Yeah, I'm sitting here. So the seller actually offered owner financing at $3,000 down, $300 a month for 10 years.
I mean, how many construction workers and stuff are going to need to come and stay, and like they're going
to? Well, they're making like that project's going to have like 8,000 like construction jobs.
Right.
So in the area, so it's like, yes, but a lot of the workers are staying in hotels and like staying out of the hood, obviously, because like there's still issues with like people getting their stuff broken into, and they're working on it. Like the only downside I see is the city's actually like on a freaking violent tear, because this came off a code violation list. It's on a violent tear, just ripping these houses down. They're like,
that's what Birmingham started doing. Yep.
Yeah, they're like, you fix your house, and they're like, no, and they're like, all right, well, we're gonna tear it down in 30 days. Yeah, it's condemned, and they're like, what? And they're like, yep, and we're gonna bill you for it. Yep. So the lady I'm buying this house from actually had another property that she put like 20 grand into, and they still showed up and were like, we're tearing it down. I was like, oh. And you're telling me the rougher shape one?
Is it in a opportunity zone by any chance? Because I think that really be awesome.
I'm sitting here like digging into these city records / like strategic plans to figure out like, because like the city of Hampton over here, like every Airbnb that we manage is in their zone of tourism. So they're like, that can't be an Airbnb. It's like, we are literally doing exactly what your strategic plan told us to do. Like, can you leave us alone? And they're like, sorry. I'm like, yeah, okay, go away. We're driving tourism. We even have a gift basket with all the local businesses. Like, what do you want from us? We love you. Let us love you.
It's a good idea. I'm gonna do a gift basket. I like that.
All right.
That's crazy with Danville, because we had a opportunity to buy like a row of 5 houses there, like I don't know, like 3 years ago.
Add it to the list of blunders.
Yeah. All right. Yeah,
So
totally.
that's the thing is
And I got
people
three now.
people
I got
now
three
in
now.
that area
Three.
are like, so I'm JVing with another wholesaler there. He's a big guy. He was recommended me by another mentor I have, and he's saying like he's just been getting calls nonstop this last year. People are like, my house is 1.55, so, you know, like near the, I want 100,000, and he's like, this neighborhood, like nobody's selling their house for over like 20-30 grand.
Not yet.
I think the highest I saw was like 45, but yeah, not yet. So it's like close on it and have the run the risk of it getting torn down and then having land that I'm paying like you know, way too much for with the owner finance deal, or just bite the bullet, drop the cash, try to fix it up. You know, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, Brody's a wholesaler. What are we doing here, boys? Like,
You're a wholesaler, but you also run I mean, well, your wife runs a short-term rental business. I mean, so you can do both. I fully believe that. I know that we've gone back and forth on this, and you want to be masterly focused, and we can go back to the original W2 Capitalist podcast of Jamie O'Brien being the shotgun investor and own that all day long.
Brody being the exact opposite. Yeah.
But I mean, you can do both. I mean, at the end of the day, let's be honest, the wholesaling's a job, right?
Oh, it
so
is.
It's flipping, you know, and so what is going to help you build your wealth and your freedom? It's going to be income streams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's any problem with you pulling out good deals out of your wholesale pile and keeping them.
Yeah, but on the same token too, like it's got some red flags on it to where it's like it's 4 hours away. I don't know anybody out there. It'd be like starting from the ground up, and it's like, do we want to go through that?
Yeah,
or
that's true. That's a long way.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you had like, if you were like a roofer out in Danville and you came across this thing, you're like, I got a crew to come work with me on it. I just got to go find the money, you know, or whatever. Then it's like, boom, you know, it's getting through those steps.
Jeff,
yeah.
Are you familiar with Danville, Virginia?
Yeah, I grew up in Danville. Or not? I didn't grow up in Danville. I grew up in Roanoke, but
I know a guy's got a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house right where Caesar's
is
about
to BJ?
Build a casino. You interested in looking? I think he's only asking
25 for it.
I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna run it through the ringer.
The deal machine.
The deal machine. But yeah, I texted her about that. She's already like the little balls on the text thing
are going nuts.
Like,
I'll forward you everything I got here.
She says,
Jeff.
To start, I'd buy midterm rentals as close to job as possible. They will have a ton of contractors, etc., needing places to stay. Like just what we just talked about. See, we don't need.
There you go.
I have a Trina on my team. How do I get that?
Fair enough.
I have one on my team. I'm so stubborn to lean on her and ask her for advice. I'm getting better at it though.
Have you guys ever done any soul? This is kind of a total rabbit hole, soul searching of like, I was reading some book or some article about like finding your strengths, admitting your weaknesses. And Blair said the other day, she's like, you have a major issue asking for help. And it's so true. Like I try and carry everything and I try and do it all myself. And it's probably my biggest weakness is I try and do everything myself. I have a lot of trouble asking for help.
I'm with you. That
Everybody
email
needs a
I sent
team.
you today, that came from Eva beating me up for about 30 minutes last night, and through the whole, hey, ask for help, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. So that was kind of step one today.
Can't get to the next level without a team.
Yep.
There's no super, successful person that's done it all themselves. Not a single one, except maybe the Lord.
Well, that's not a person. That's God.
I know. I'm joking.
A little difference.
I agree.
Oh, man. All right, guys, we're coming up on an hour. I want to be respectful of y'all's time and also realize that I could probably talk to y'all till way early hours of the morning. So let's kind of cut here.
I got a babysitter for another hour, so
Hey, if you guys
If
want to
y'all wanna-
stop
if y'all-
recording,
if we want
I'm
to
gonna
have
eat
like
some
that,
pot pie on the next portion of this call.
if we want to do like that
Chicken pie,
extra
chicken pie,
hour,
chicken
like
pie,
a
pie.
lot of radio shows like have that extra hour, like
The
I can keep
extra,
going
the after party.
because I've been
Late
watching my
night with the
kids.
W2
All right, now
Pepper.
that Brody's gone, like okay, because he didn't have kids. So what is the longest amount of time that the two of you have watched your kids for without your wife, like you doing it alone?
It's at least 3 days, if not 5.
Winter chicken dinner.
It's
Me?
3 to 5 days. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was at least 3.
What do you got, Jay? Nothing? You never
All-
watched your kids?
All three of them at once.
Yeah, just you and the kids, and that's it.
Maybe an hour.
Oh God!
Fucking A, are you
What?
serious? Go fuck yourself.
How do you do that?
I
just started week 2. Week
oh
2
Yeah.
of
Jesus.
all me, just the kids. I mean, they're in preschool.
That makes me nervous thinking about it.
How do you get anything done?
Good fucking question. Like I'm sitting there in the like this past weekend. I'm sitting in the parking lot to where I have to pick them up. It's 5:15. I have to get them before 5:30, and I'm literally sitting in the parking lot in the car, and I'm like, I have to watch these kids through the whole weekend, and then I finally get to drop them back off at daycare in the morning on Monday, but then I have to go to fucking work for the whole day. So I'm like, this is my last 15 minutes of like freedom.
Yep. I get it.
That is a long time.
Fucking weeks. Trina's down in Florida, working on getting our Airbnbs down there rolling.
Well,
so I've been doing work here plus watching the kids. And I was curious as to how long y'all was the longest amount of time.
That's a long time. I'll tell you, I just moms don't get enough credit, man. They're just wired differently than I am. Because
and I think part of our dynamic that we have is we both realize that, and we both realize how short my fuse is with the kids. And
oh, so you're one of those backhanding fathers.
I backhand, forehand, whatever I do. There's
judo
Gadsden. Was it Gadsden? You grew up in Gadsden.
I did, yeah.
Gadsden, Alabama. That's how they still got it the old ways.
I mean, there's nothing
pick
wrong
your
with
switch.
There's plenty of people that still do
that. Yeah, I mean, I definitely spank our kids.
Yeah.
Y'all are spankers? I mean, I'm not judging. Yeah. I'm just curious. Y'all are spankers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Says it, spare the rod, spoil the child, man.
When you leave a review, and I hope you do, don't forget to tell us who you are and leave 5 stars. That's from Dirty Jobs Micro. Listen, guys, if you're interested in exploring any of the products or services that I use to make my real estate investing career easier, or you want to explore joining us in the W2 Capitalist community where you can hang out with guys like myself, Brody, Jamie, and Jeff on a routine basis, there's going to be a link somewhere in the description or comments or something like that, wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast. But as promised, if you have any questions whatsoever, or you feel like I can help you in anything we talk about here today on this episode or any of the previous episodes, send me a text. I was going to say, give me a call, but chances are, if you're not in my phone book, I'm not going to answer. So send me a text. Let me know what episode you're listening to and how I can potentially help you. We'll find a time to get on a call. Okay. My cell phone number is 205-249-0248.